All right, so part 2 of my awakening. Today we want to go into detail. We're going to take and break part 1 down. So I know I gave y'all a summary in part 1 of just, I hit a few different points in there. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to break each point down for y'all. And I need to make a correction as well. So today's topic is Crystal Brown, my stinking ass cousin by blood. This jealous ass, stinking ass hoe. Bitch ass, stinking ass hoe. But anyway, she invited us. It wasn't Tacoma, Washington. I confused it. And I found some paperwork with the correct address. And I'm going to just say the full address because I know that the feds is watching. And I know there's an investigation going on. And I know that there's some things that they need to tie together. So her address was in Lakewood, Washington. All right. Crystal Brown invited me and my children to Lakewood, Washington to live. All right. When I was homeless and we left, it was December of 2021 when we left. We got there. It was the day before Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we left Valdosta on like the 20th. Or the 19th. I don't know. It was between those 2 days. Anyway, I do have records of some of the places that I stayed because I am an accountant. So I do keep receipts for the feds that's watching. Just to let y'all know that. But her address in Lakewood, Washington, which is where she lived, where she invited us. I said Tacoma because we did a lot in Tacoma. All the stores was in Tacoma. The weed was legal out there when I was smoking weed. So Tacoma was where I went to some weed stores. There was a park out there in Tacoma where I witnessed a little girl get raped. Well, I seen evidence of a little girl getting raped and then watched somebody snatch her up and then followed a car and made a police call. The police out there faking everything. But anyway, we're not going to go into detail about that. I want to stay on subject. But Crystal's address in Lakewood, Washington was 4910 108th Street, Southwest. Her apartment was 41. It was in Lakewood, Washington. The zip code there was 98499. And I'm disclosing that because before I went to, I'm disclosing that because there's a church that is beside this apartment complex that she was living in. There's some cult things going on at that church. They didn't have a regular service. It was something weird about the church. I did see, me and my kids seen a transfer truck with the logo from the lady and the man from Wyoming. When I told y'all we stopped at the store and she asked me could she buy my son, I seen a transfer truck with their logo on it across at that church, parked beside that church. And then I also seen, you know, it was surveillance all around there, so I know it's sex trafficking going on around there. And I also made a call to the police because there were kids in the back of that truck when it was beside that church, but nobody ever came and investigated when I made the police call or whatever. But anyway, we'll go into more detail about that. Today's session is about Crystal Ann Brown. She's from Lumberton, North Carolina. I don't know if she's still in Lakewood, Washington at that address or not. I don't know where she lives now because I haven't talked to her since she put me and my kids out. But anyway, before I went to Washington State, Crystal was already into tarot. All right, I was at one of my other jealous ass cousins' house, Artasia Singletary. And my little sister name is Datoya Brown because I'm calling everybody out. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I allowed her to do a reading on me. I didn't know what it was, okay? And I was just like, all right. So she did the reading. And she did it while I was in Fayetteville at my cousin Tasia house, who invited me in, another jealous ass family member, just because I was down and she liked to see the frown on my face. But I allowed her to do a tarot reading on me, and that's where she was able to find out what my future was looking like. All right, it was looking great. It was beautiful. Okay, and I believe that was when she found out, you know, what my future was going to be like. And her ex-husband now, who is Rendell Thompson, I believe he had something to do with it too, because he was in the military out there. And I believe her mama had something to do with it too, Julia Rich. Anyway, I'm just going to say that out loud. But she found out what the future was going to be like for me. And I believe then she started, you know, recruiting people. They started formulating and getting together this plan so that they could take me down. So she invited me out there. Before she left my house the summer of that 2021, when she came to my house, because I had left and went to Pennsylvania because that's where my baby daddy was. At the time, he wasn't my baby daddy. He was just my boyfriend. He was working in Pennsylvania. So I was back and forth to Pennsylvania then. But I had left because I wasn't comfortable. She was sleeping in my bed. There was a snake sleeping in my bed with me. So I wasn't comfortable. So I left and went out there. And this was after she showed me about the dating app and shit. So I went out there and popped up on his ass. And when I got back, I had a pool in my backyard. And the pool, the liner of my pool, she had cut a big ass slit in the liner of my pool. All right. She would do little things to try to get up under my skin. She was doing it then, but I didn't realize it. So when I seen it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this looked like somebody took a knife and cut a slit in my goddamn pool, which she did. And so I had to go through and repair that so I could put my pool back up for my kids. This is the type of shit that jealous ass people do. But she invited me, you know, to her home. Her mama was there. Her ex-husband, Randall Thompson, came over as well. Like once. I believe this was just all a part of their plan. She introduced me to some people that she was working with. One of the guys' his name was Dre. The other one was Ty Williams. And then there was another guy who, I'm not going to disclose his name, but I ended up getting in a relationship with him. Very brief, very short, fell in love, you know, all that good stuff. But then, you know, I had to break up with a nigga because something went right. But I believe that Dre and Ty had something to do with what she was planning. And then while I was out there, I had a vehicle. I was behind on the payments, and I believe that she called the people and told them where the car was because they had no idea where it was at. I lived all the way in North Carolina. There's no way that they knew that that was the address that I was at. So I think that behind my back, she called them and told them, hey, the car is here. They came and got the car. I called the nigga that I was dealing with at the time, bought another car, bought a truck. And then that was the catalyst that was like, all right, something funky is going on out this bitch. And then that's when I started seeing, you know, people was following us around every day. I was leaving in and out of the house throughout the day, throughout the morning. You know, I didn't feel comfortable in her house at all. I didn't know at the time, but she was doing magic against me. I had threw some stuff away, you know, and then when I came back, she had went and got all the stuff that I threw away and was going through it. But it didn't dawn on me at the time that the bitch was crazy and that, you know, she was looking for some stuff that she should find. I don't know what exactly happened, but she was looking for something. Okay, she was looking for something of mine. And she was doing magic. She also had a picture of a white girl. She said it was somebody that she worked with on her altar at the time. Because like I said, at the time, I was just now getting into, and when I got there, I was just now learning about candles and doing magic and stuff. I had also met this lady online. She called herself, damn, it ain't even coming right now, Shay. Her name was Shay something. And I got some evidence of our encounters together because she was offering a course to tell me more about you know, what I was studying, spirituality. So I do have some evidence of her. She ended up coming to my house later at a later date, and she came and she was trying to kill me. But that's all I got right now. I got to get off of here. But Crystal, I believe her and Crystal teamed up together. I believe my ex best friend was with them with doing it, Lorraine Coleman, but we're gonna go into detail.